Republicans to hear from witnesses and documents blocked by the White House as the president unleashes a barrage on Twitter.
Race to contain the coronavirus. The first American facing a deadly infection now quarantined at a Seattle hospital. What we're now learning about who he came into contact with at the city center of the outbreak, and 2 others go on lockdown.
Facing his accusers as Harvey Weinstein heads back to court, the newly released recordings, what Weinstein supposedly tells a model after she refuses his advances.
First on GMA, the ousted CEO of the Grammys, Deborah Dugan, here live after dropping those bombshell allegations claiming Grammy voting is rigged. How it may have cost artists like Beyonce.
Oprah speaks out. What the TV mogul is now saying about Harry and Meghan's royal exit.
And a much-anticipated debut, the #1 draft pick, Zion Williamson, finally taking the court for the first time this season, stunning fans with his 22-point performance.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
And good morning, America. Hope you're well this Thursday morning. Wow, that was worth the wait down in New Orleans.
It certainly was, and I was very impressed. You were throwing out stats on Zion.
Yeah.
17 consecutive in the 422 points overall. He did. It was much anticipated, his regular season debut. It even got the attention of former NBA star Dwayne Wade, who tweeted, "Worth the wait."
Definitely it was. We're going to have more on that ahead. But first, we're going to begin with that breaking news overnight. 3 Americans killed fighting those wildfires in Australia, their air tanker crashing. James Longman starts us off with the very latest. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. This was a devastating accident. 3 U.S. firemen going down in their plane in what's being described as a fireball. They were in Australia tackling those ongoing bush fires. And this morning, we're hearing a chilling call for help. Overnight, as the fires continue to blaze through this country, a harrowing call to emergency dispatch.
Fire calls, message read, click your captain, message read. Crashed, huh? Yeah, fire comms, it's just a ball of flames. Over.
3 American firefighters dead after their waterbombing plane crashed.
Our deepest condolences to those families who've been impacted. And today is a stark and horrible reminder of the dangerous conditions.
The Americans were in Australia to help fight the fires near New South Wales, where more than 3,000 homes have been destroyed and 28 people have died. Flames spreading to the nation's capital in Canberra overnight, thick columns of smoke rising above the airport, forcing parts of it to shut down and stranding residents in nearby neighbourhoods.
It was very, very smoky up there.
No, sir.
And my grandson lives in Oaks Estate and he's just been told it's too late to leave.
America has already sent 200 people to help fight these flames. Remember, we're only halfway through the summer. Scorching temperatures are going to continue, so the United States will be sending more people to help fight these bushfires.
Yeah, it's such a terrible situation. Okay, James, thanks very much. We're going to get the latest now on the impeachment trial of President Trump. Democrats about to make their case for a second day, detailing how President Trump pressured Ukraine in a scheme to cheat in the 2020 election, blocked Congress from investigating, and they're now calling on the Senate to demand key witnesses and evidence to ensure a fair trial. Our senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce is checking it all on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, Democrats are meticulously making their case here, going line by line through the evidence and creating a timeline that they say shows the president abused his power and should be removed from office. But they're also pointing out what they don't know yet and urging senators to help fill in those gaps by calling additional witnesses that are being blocked by the White House. After a late night laying out their case,
Senate is adjourned.
This morning, Democratic prosecutors are preparing for day 2 of their opening arguments, accusing the president of abusing his office for his own political gain and obstructing Congress.
The president was the key player in the scheme. Everyone was in the loop. He directed the actions of his team. He personally asked a foreign government to investigate his opponent. These facts are not in dispute.
For 8 hours, Democrats going chronologically over every phone call, every email, and playing video using the president's own words against him.
Well, I would think that if they were honest about it, they'd start a major investigation into the Bidens.
Start a major investigation into the Bidens. The evidence of wrongdoing by President Trump is hiding in plain sight.
Democrats warning the president must be removed from office to protect the 2020 election.
The president went to extraordinary lengths to cheat in the next election.
And they urged Republicans to let them call additional witnesses that have been blocked by the White House.
The full and complete story is within your power to request. Ask yourselves whether the documents and witnesses that have been denied by the president's complete and unprecedented obstruction could shed more light on this critical topic.
Sitting silently through it all, the president's legal team, they won't have a chance to respond and make their case until Saturday. But the president is already chiming in. On his way back from Switzerland Wednesday with the trial underway, Trump tweeted more than 140 times, more than any other day of his presidency. Now, the Democrats have about 16 hours left on the clock, and inside the chamber, senators are paying close attention. We have seen them taking detailed, copious notes, but George, it does seem some fatigue is starting to set in here. We've also spotted senators standing up, stretching their legs, or sneaking in some extra snacks, and they are expected today to be back in those seats at 1 o'clock.
Can't blame them for a little stretch. Okay, Mary, thanks very much for bringing our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on this. There's really two different arguments going on now from the Democrats. On the one hand, they say they have an overwhelming case that the president should be convicted. But even if you don't believe that, you need to fill in all these gaps for a fair trial.
You would think that the key here would be the substantive arguments about abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. But really, the focus is on more witnesses should be called. Witnesses should be called. We need to be able to hear from additional people. So if you view the arguments that way, and not just as an argument to try to convince them to remove the president from office, which I think they know is an incredible long shot, it starts to make a little more sense what the strategy is, how they're doing what they're doing, why they keep coming back to this issue of the holes in the story and how they want to fill them in.
And, you know, the White House is still hoping perhaps at some point for a motion to dismiss. Now, in a courtroom, the judge dismisses a case when he says, or she says, all the facts are true, but it's not a crime.
Right. I'll assume that all the facts are true and it still wouldn't be a crime. I don't think that's the way they would frame it here if there were a motion to dismiss. But again, we're talking about potentially 51 votes to have more witnesses. You also need 51 votes to be able to get this thing dismissed. So I think that's still a long shot for them. I think that there are enough senators who are going to want to at least be seen as hearing all the evidence, listening to it out, and not entertaining a motion to dismiss at this point.
Rudy Giuliani playing a big role in this case.
A huge role. They're again and again trying to convince these moderate senators that Giuliani was the arm of the president. And any of the shenanigans that he was doing in Ukraine are effectively the president's actions. And it's a powerful argument.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. You'll be joining us for our live coverage of the Senate impeachment trial. I'll be anchoring with our whole political and legal team starting at 1 Eastern, right here on ABC.
All right, George, now to the growing crisis over the coronavirus. The city at the center of the outbreak in China and 2 others going on lockdown as authorities try to stop the spread. Those numbers growing this morning. Now more than 600 people have been infected and at least 17 killed. There is one case, as we've been reporting here in the U.S., and 5 U.S. airports are now screening passengers. Kana Whitworth is in Everett, Washington, where the American patient is being treated. Good morning, Kana.
Robin, good morning. So officials here have set up a call center for anyone who thinks they may have been exposed to the coronavirus. In the meantime, they are monitoring their one confirmed patient who is here at the hospital in isolation, and he will remain that way until the CDC says he can be released. This morning, new details on the American patient infected with the coronavirus. The unidentified man in his 30s under quarantine in a Seattle hospital, living in a biocontainment room with security guards. The few medical professionals who have access using a specially skilled robot to limit their contact. The man, at the time asymptomatic, flew in from Wuhan last Wednesday, fell ill the next day, and reached out for medical attention. Within 24 hours, tested positive for the virus.
Fortunately for us, the patient also provided a good history, let us know that he was already at high risk.
Seattle officials now working on verifying 16 people he may have been in close contact with.
Department of Health epidemiologists to complete an extensive travel history with the patient.
This morning, 2 other Chinese cities on lockdown. Overnight, Wuhan, ground zero for the outbreak, but also one of the largest transportation hubs in central China, is enacting a travel ban. shutting down public transit as well as temporarily suspending departures from the train station and airport. This new video shows emergency checks in one of the last flights out of Wuhan. 2 passengers removed from the plane.
I'm in China.
American Matthew McCoy, a constant traveler in the country since 2013, says people are being extra cautious.
Nobody's at the shopping malls, and now nobody's at the movie theaters. And very few people are out and about. They've all got their groceries, and they're staying in-house as much as possible to try to weather this situation.
The CDC now funneling all passengers arriving from Wuhan through 5 U.S. airports with mandatory screenings and posting advisories at checkpoints in 14 airports. The last flight from Wuhan landing at JFK last night, and in Boston screening 10 passengers coming from Hong Kong. All were cleared. So we have learned now that officials here have confirmed the flight that this Washington state man was on, and they are in the process of alerting all of the passengers. But also, all of the doctors that I spoke with here, Michael, say they absolutely anticipate seeing more cases of the coronavirus here in the U.S., specifically because this virus spreads so quickly. Michael?
We sure hope they can isolate it. Thank you so much, Kana. And now to the latest on the Harvey Weinstein trial. Lawyers from both sides are heading back to court this morning as we hear newly released audio recordings. Ariel Reshef is outside the courthouse with more. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, Michael. Both sides giving a window into their strategies during opening arguments yesterday. Today, the much anticipated next phase in this trial, a watershed moment for the Me Too movement.
This morning, Harvey Weinstein preparing for the second day of his landmark criminal trial. Prosecutors using opening arguments Wednesday to call the disgraced movie mogul a sexual predator, a rapist, and a monster. More than 80 women alleging sexual misconduct by Weinstein, but this trial focusing on 2 specific cases, including former production assistant Mimi Halei. Prosecutors say Weinstein sexually assaulted Halei in 2006, claiming she eventually gave up struggling and just laid there motionless. 4 other female accusers expected to testify against Weinstein, including former actress Dawn Dunning. Allegedly, she quit the industry when he threatened her career after she rejected his advances.
He was the most powerful man in Hollywood. Of course, I believed him.
All part of the prosecution's strategy to paint Weinstein as a master manipulator who leveraged his power to sexually assault his alleged victims. Overnight, the Catch and Kill podcast, hosted by journalist Ronan Farrow, releasing never-before-heard audio recorded by model Ambra Gutierrez as part of a sting operation with the NYPD in 2015. The podcast supposedly capturing Weinstein threatening Gutierrez's career after she turned him down.
The conversation wraps up with his clearest threat.
I give you my word, if you don't trust me, then we have no reason to do anything, and you will lose big opportunities.
Weinstein's representatives have declined to comment on the recording, but attorneys for Weinstein, who has pleaded not guilty and denies all allegations of non-consensual sex, previewing what they call dozens of loving emails sent by some accusers to the Hollywood Titan, like this one from the other complaining witness months after the alleged assault. Miss you, big guy. I love you. I always do, but I hate feeling like a booty call.
And Weinstein faces 5 felony counts in this case. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. He could face some of his accusers in court as early as today. Robin?
Ariel, thank you. Now to that startling report from the UN accusing Saudi Arabia of hacking Amazon founder Jeff Bezos' phone with the help of the Crown Prince. Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington with the very latest on all that. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. The allegations are like something out of a movie thriller. A Saudi Crown Prince accused of spying on a powerful billionaire.
The United Nations stunning allegation, accusing the Saudi kingdom of hacking one of the richest men in the world, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. The suspicion that Bezos was targeted because he's the owner of the Washington Post. The UN report, which included analysis of data collected by a firm hired by Bezos, as well as other evidence, concluded the hack happened back in May of 2018 in an effort to influence and possibly silence the Washington Post's critical coverage of Saudi Arabia. Much of that tough coverage coming from Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi, who was later brutally assassinated by a Saudi hit squad. Wednesday, Bezos tweeting this picture of a memorial service for Khashoggi. The UN report claims Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman allegedly sent Bezos a video file on WhatsApp, seen here in this image obtained by Vice News. When opened, the file allegedly allowed hackers to break into Bezos' phone and download massive amounts of data.
Immediately upon receiving this video file, the phone started behaving in a completely different way.
Just 5 months after the hack in October, Khashoggi was murdered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. According to the report, the Crown Prince also allegedly sending Bezos another WhatsApp message with a picture of a woman closely resembling his then mistress, Lauren Sanchez, months before his salacious affair was revealed to the world. The Saudi foreign minister is dismissing the allegations.
The idea that the Crown Prince would hack Jeff Bezos' phone is absolutely silly.
The UN investigators are calling for the U.S. to look into their explosive claims. Justice Department officials are declining to comment on the specific allegations, but say when there are accusations of hacking, even involving nations, they will investigate. Guys?
All right, Pierre, thank you.
And, you know, this morning we are celebrating the career of a football giant. Literally, my former teammate Eli Manning retiring after 16 years at the quarterback of the New York Giants. The 39-year-old led the team to 2 epic Super Bowl victories, both over the New England Patriots. He was named MVP of both of those games, one of 5 players to ever do that in NFL history. He owns virtually every passing record in Giants history, and he's going to hold a press conference on Friday to say farewell to the media and to his fans.
I know you're going to be there for that.
I'm going to be there for that, and I love this guy. Classy on the field and as classy off the field. Special guy more so than a special player, and he's going to be missed by all of us Giants fans.
I'll bet. Yeah, what a career. Following a lot of other stories this morning, including Grammy scandal, Austin CEO Deborah Dugan is here first on GMA after her blockbuster allegations that the awards are rigged.
We'll talk to her coming up and what Oprah is now saying about Harry and Meghan's decision. But first, let's get over to Ginger.
You know, Robin, more than a half foot of snow fell in parts of Kansas, but there on I-135, it was a mess. That's Newton, Kansas. You have to see Omaha, Nebraska. They were clearing those runways, getting the snow out of the way, and now that storm is going to be joined up by another low-pressure system. So come on over here. Let's take a look what's going to happen and time it out for you. Chicago getting a little wet snow this morning. Going to get a second round tomorrow. That wraparound on that counterclockwise flow reaches all the way back to Kansas City. What does that mean for the East Coast? Well, Philadelphia, New York City, Connecticut, by Saturday afternoon, thunderstorms. Yes, thunderstorms here in the middle of winter. Does not look like anybody but the very highest elevation gets snow in New England. And then again, it's that wraparound that's going to add 1-2 shots in parts of the Midwest. Your local weather's coming up in 30 seconds. First, though, we've got the Snowy Cities, sponsored by Edward Jones.
This is the age of expression. Everyone has something to say. But in a world full of talking, shouldn't somebody be listening?
So, let's talk.
We are Edward Jones. With one financial advisor per office, we're built for hearing what's important to you, one-to-one. Edward Jones, it's time for investing to feel individual.
Sunshine this morning will fade behind the clouds. Temperatures in the upper 20s now, but will climb to about 40 degrees by lunchtime, 43 at 5 p.m. Our high today, about 46 degrees, so a little milder than yesterday. Tonight, with cloud cover, not quite as cold. Lows for the most part above freezing, 32 to 38. And then tomorrow, our finally Friday, temperatures a little milder as we get into the lower 50s. But heads up, if you've got dinner plans tomorrow night, make sure that you grab your umbrella. Rain continues through Saturday morning.
From around the nation, we welcome the ABC owned and operated station meteorologist. I love it. It's so nice to have.
Group forecast today?
Really. And it's coming up.
You couldn't give us jazz hands or something? There you go. There you go.
We'll be right back.
It's amazing what you can uncover with your DNA results from Ancestry. I was able to discover one cousin, reached out to him, visited Ireland, met another 20 cousins. They took me to the Cliffs of Moher, the ancestral home, the family bar. It really gives you a sense of connection to something that's bigger than yourself.
Greater details, richer stories. And now, with Health Insights, get your DNA kit at Ancestry.com. Wherever, however.